Greetings, viewers, and welcome to my channel. This is our 11th session, and today we have a special guest, Dr. Aneeqa Malik, and I thank her for accepting our invitation. For your convenience, links to the previous sessions appear in the description of this video. Now let's start with the new session.
Welcome, Dr. Aneeqa. I second what Alim said. Thank you for joining us. Let us start by your telling us uh, about yourself. What is your profession? Uh, what is your background? So that people have become familiar with who you are.
So I'm speaking to you. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for having me, Khusro Saab and Aleem Saab. So I'm speaking to you from Glasgow at the moment, Scotland, because I moved from London to Glasgow for some family reason. I've been living in the UK for the past 25 years, originally from Pakistan, but I was also raised in Saudi Arabia. And so my journey is interesting that I have just completed my PhD about 5 years ago. And I have worked
What is your PhD in?
So the journey, my journey started when I started working on community projects, as in the British Pakistani community here, and thinking that, I can be of help and see what's happening within our community. And so my background at that time was accounts manager I was working as, but then I left my job and I started my own consultancy, management consultancy. So I was helping new businesses, especially social enterprises and social entrepreneurs with business management. And this is what I was kind of working with them. And I thought, okay, let me see what's happening within the British Pakistani community. So I have organized conferences in Pakistan on this topic as well. And to my dismay, nothing much was happening in our community. And I started some community development projects to help women especially to upskill themselves. And I realized that we are quite behind, we as in the British Pakistani community, on so many things, especially social entrepreneurship was a very new thing. So my quest started from there, that when I started asking people, I wanted to set up a social investment fund with an organization as I was working with. And we were asking people to put money into this fund so we can help community projects. But there was no, no encouragement and no recognition that we need to also put some money into community projects or community building. But yes, we give a lot of charity, and that's about it, or build mosques and all this. And I kept on thinking that we need to look at our own models. How can we be self-sufficient? Or if we are, especially faith-based community, in a secular society, how can we help each other, with our own models? So my PhD was on this. So I follow the Sufi Tariqa. So I was thinking of, just bringing spirituality or that essence of, so I'm talking about 12 years ago, Islamic finance was an emergent phenomenon here in the UK. So I was also exploring, so what is the essence of Islamic finance, especially for community building and charity giving and sadaqah. And that is what my work is around, that, if we look at the Quran, in the Quran, it's said that give beautiful loans, karde hasan, to each other, which, as you were saying, Khusro Saab, about debt slavery and, the trap of debt that, especially the societies we are part of. How can we provide a solution. So my PhD is basically was about, can we provide a solution, we as the Muslims living in a secular society? Are there, if from our faith perspective, we can provide solutions? And the solution was, we can give interest-free loans to each other, like benevolent loan, not just interest-free. So my whole research was around this, that how communities, faith-based communities can become self-sufficient, and are there any models that, amongst themselves? And I found out about an organization in Pakistan, and they have given Karde Hassan on a huge scale, 5.8 million people and counting. And so the world knows about Grameen Bank, and now people are knowing about Akhwat Foundation as well. But I'm talking about 9 years ago when I started. I wrote my thesis on Akhwat Foundation to show that there are solutions that we can also provide, and within our own communities, we can, practice this and provide some solutions.
Just to clarify,
And all this. So that has been my journey. Sorry, yes.
yeah.
No,
Just
this
to
is.
yeah, I just
Go ahead.
wanted to clarify to Dr. Aneeqa that our talk and this series that we are conducting is has no connection with any particular religion, and we are talking. We
No,
can
that's fine. But I think we had the last time we had a Christian
correct.
alim. So
Yeah.
now we have a Muslim.
I'm just telling you about my journey and my research.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
Because I'm a Sufi as well, I believe in the universality of all the religions.
Yes, right. Oh, yes, definitely. That is the thing,
Yes.
yeah. Not any
Yeah.
particular religion, but it is like, the
Yeah. And to be
interfaith
very
sort of.
honest, all the religions are saying the same thing. I mean,
Exactly.
I work with the Catholic community. There is a movement, global movement, started by Pope Francis, and it's called the Economy of Francisco. And I have worked with them as well, and basically we're saying the same thing,
Oh.
So yeah, it's about not having any faith or not having any spiritual understanding, the deeper understanding of, not just faith. How do we live on this planet as humans?
Yes,
Yes.
right.
So this is a good point for me to ask you the question that, as you know, I am very concerned about the state of affairs of the world, and that it is regressing and it is going in the wrong direction. But I want your perspective as to how you see the state of the world, so that, I want this not just to be my point of view, but arrive at what the truth is. So how do you see? I mean, you're familiar with my thinking. We've shared but you have your own perspective, and I want you to talk about how you see the state of the world.
And the solutions.
Yes, the solutions basically. Yeah, we can otherwise keep on talking about, oh, the world is, going in the wrong direction, but can we provide any solutions? I mean, solutions we can just try if they would work. But there are solutions as well. I think we are just passing through a very, I know it's very turmoil phase, but it is something which is kind of transitioning as I see. And whenever, there is the chaos theory also says, there is order in disorder as well. When things break, there is something new that is being born or emerging. So I think we need to stay with the emergent. What is emerging? So what I see personally is that, with the recent Gaza and, the conflict and everything, the world has literally changed in so many ways. But then we have also seen how it has transformed many people, you know, and that is the positive, I think, which has emerged from there. So we need to, me being a positivist, I would like to stay with the positive and see that if we can carry that, like all these young people who are, you know, just literally fighting. It's become the world's struggle now, not just the Palestinians. I mean, we are not ignoring the fact that they're still being killed. Palestinians are being killed whilst we are sitting here and just talking about it. But at least the whole world has kind of embraced their cause. And this hasn't happened in 75 years before, like in history. But there is an awakening which is happening, and which is a positive, I think. I don't know if we can save the world. I don't know if this war we can stop. We've been trying. It's been 7 months. But I think that now there is a new kind of awakening, and these young people, the next generation, I mean, we are the older generation, we can just pass on the torch to them, and they are seeing things differently. And I personally believe that the world now, the human story, needs to be retold in a new manner. And, you know, if, as Einstein also said, if we keep looking at problems from the same mindset, the old problems, we will just be on the same pattern. So if we now can maybe start thinking of humanity on many levels, you know, climate change and so many things.
But why are we causing bloodshed? What is the thinking behind all this destruction?
Well, when anyone says that, normally I would say that if we look at the world history, when was the world literally a heaven or paradise? You know,
Right.
when was the period when there was no war, there was no bloodshed, there was peace all around, prosperity for everyone? I mean, we need to be very, you know, realistic that utopian concept could be just a fictional concept, right? Yes, we can create a utopia. We can create that. But that's what you and I and others are talking about, or challenging each other. That can we do that? What is the way? What is the future for us that we can create a new future, a different future, and envision that? So, you know, just to think that the world will remain. The other day, a friend actually said that, you know, there should be communities. Where is it that people live in harmony? And I said, nowhere, nowhere. Within communities I worked with, it could be very religious communities, like faith-based communities. It could be communities, the indigenous communities. You know, humans have, this is our human nature. We would always differ with each other. There is goodness and evilness. It will always go hand in hand. Sorry.
But
Yeah.
I just wanted to add over here that, yeah, you are perfectly correct that, you know, these problems have been always there. Yeah, but I think they are becoming worse gradually, and we are coming to a situation or a level where there will be no point of return, you know. So,
I agree with you.
yeah, so it has really intensified, and
Yes.
we are, as Khusro Saab says, we are going down a spiral, and then the there is no time, and we have to do something before it is too late to
I
not
agree with you. But being a person who follows the spiritual path, I always also say that, or I feel this way, that God created this world. God created humans. It's his world. It's his stage play. We are just the actors. So if it is in his mind to destroy the world and start anew, then of course that's going to happen. We cannot stop this. But yes, we have to still play our roles as we've been assigned, by God. We were all given a purpose and a role, or the covenant we took. So I think what we can do individually is just play that role truthfully and be his obedient servant and try to minimize misery onto each other. And individually, yes, and then collectively, if we all start thinking like this, I feel that we can do something about, minimizing the misery, but the misery will always remain here. I mean, look at the prophets. When the prophets came, even in their times, people didn't even spare prophets. Imagine that. So prophets who had this message of truthfulness and all that, they brought light with themselves. So, it's, sorry, yes.
No, I think it's a good point. That the prophets challenge the vested interests, and the vested interests will not give up their interests, even if what you're saying is enlightened. So, who are the vested interests, and why should they give up? Why should they give up?
Yes.
The prophets had God. The prophets had God behind them. You and I don't enjoy that status, and so why should anybody give up the vested interest? Who is the challenger?
So I would add to your point that these vested interests. Actually, we have talked in our previous sessions. They are in minority, despite them being in minority. They are really, the majority are the people who are suffering or who are weak or powerless. So this is a disparity also, despite them being in minority.
Also saying that.
Yeah.
Sorry, he's back.
So how can we use this disparity in correcting the situation?
As I was saying, I do a lot of online research as well and just follow trends. And the trend I'm seeing is that the majority people are now waking up. I mean, look at the example of how they are just going against celebrity culture now, which is, I am so glad. And I was like, oh my God, I'm seeing it in my lifetime, because that was my pet peeve. I used to feel like, why do we have to, especially young girls have been destroyed by this celebrity culture, following, those Kim Kardashians or whoever. But now they're just openly defying, and they're blocking that culture. So I think that is a very positive thing I see, that the majority, and they are saying, I mean, the younger generation, Generation Z, they are called, they are saying we are in majority. We should take this power back to us. So, there are plus and minuses as well. I understand that minority, and as Khusro Saab said, they have the vested interest, because of course they are running the world. We know who they are. We all know that. It's not even it's not a secret. It's all and this conflict, or, this recent war has shown that everything has come out in the open. So internet has played a huge role in this, that people, the majority, or those who were not even thinking about these things, are talking about it. So I don't know where this will lead to. We don't know, but let's see. Just seeing where.
How do you think spirituality will help us? Talk to us about your view of spirituality, and even Akhuwat, and how they have succeeded, and how we can learn from this. And maybe we should be teaching this at our universities and colleges.
Well, I feel that spirituality, of course, is a personal choice, and it's a person's own journey. But once you sort of you awaken or you wake up to this realization, why are you on this planet? Why are you sent here? What is the purpose of your life? Those things. Then I think things start making sense to you, or you try finding the truth. Spirituality, to me personally, I feel like it's an anchor. It's the navigational compass I have to how to navigate in this world, and especially how do we coexist together. So on the spiritual side also, I see awakening, that people are, yes, on one side you will see this the woke culture and the all the negatives we will see, especially in secular societies. But also people are also realizing, the young generation, and they are actually going beyond religion as well. So for them, the purpose is very spiritual. So spirituality itself has no religion. So going beyond religion as well, they are connecting on a common ground. uh, that is what I see. And I think that personally, as a woman, I feel women have to now play an active role, because, the divine feminine, as I believe, is waking up. And the feminine side, the feminine, divine feminine energy, which is of mercy, of compassion, needs to save this world. And you would see many women are doing this work, very implicitly as well, hidden behind the scene, but also openly. Women are now talking about this. How do we save humanity? So, as I said, the new story. This world needs a new story, and if men allow women, and even if women don't take on to the very feminist path, but understand what is their divine duty, as women are the protectors, they are the guardians of families and nurturing families. So they need to nurture the whole humanity. So some of us are seeing that duty, and we are doing something about it.
So how would you explain spirituality? How does that help us? I mean, I completely agree with you about the role of women, and it's about time because uh, men are part of the root cause of this problem. They are, you know, into fighting and trying to resolve things by force, and that's what has brought us to this thing. And it's about time women stepped up and sort of said, "You are destroying the world, and you are also destroying the world by not letting us participate." Uh, so I completely agree with that. But now, define your understanding of spirituality for us, so that how are you going to, how is that going to help, particularly men?
So, this universe, the cosmos and the universe has this yin and yang, right? It has Jamal and Jalal. It has beauty and it has majesty and glory. That is Allah's two main, the attributes. That Allah is all loves beauty, which is why He created women, in like to beautify the form of mankind, like humankind. And then Allah has Jalal as well, the majesty. So this is the way the universe works. So we do need men as well and women as well, equal. But as I was saying, the divine feminine is that energy. So it is in the nature of this universe or divine nature that it will balance out. So it's trying to balance. You will see why so many women are rising now. So many women are coming forward and saying, no, this is how we should be taking the story, human story forward. I mean, I have also taught at summer schools with the economy of Francisco, and I've seen that the young PhD students and all those youngsters, I take a very storytelling route. This is the way I teach, and they acknowledge that, you know, they weren't against it, what I was saying, being, and it was a Catholic gathering, and I was the Muslim woman as well. But you know, so many students then came to me and they said they just loved what I was saying. So you see, it is landing somewhere. I think they do need a mother's voice and a woman's voice. And I mean, I'm very hopeful. Khusro Sahab do not agree with this, that it could be false hope, but I remain with hope that, and you know, I feel like this is what I need to do. I'm one person, but I need to do my own, you know, work very truthfully. So this is my spirituality. And you said define spirituality. I mean, spirituality, like God has so many attributes, so many names. So we can't just pin it down to one thing. Every person just experiences it very differently, because as there are 8 billion human beings, there are 8 billion experiences, the way the divine is experiencing through us. So every experience is different. Every person feels it differently. But of course, we do connect. We could come from the same source, and we have to go back to that source. So that source unifies us. And I gave it a term, solidarity, like our souls come from the same source and we are all united there. Of course, if we say we can't see that, but there are many initiatives in this world that I have seen, like take a Hoods example. I mean, why would anyone give their own money for free and not make business out of it and say, take my money, give me nothing? I mean, it's a very, it's a silly concept to someone. If
Dr. Aneeqa has brought a couple of very good points to our discussion. One is the role that the women can play. And I think that is really, really important because we need, you know, the mother figure, the sister figure, the figure that is not relying on physical aggression and is trying to resolve things through peace and harmony and through the family. And I think that's important. Thank you very much, Dr. Aneeqa.
no, thank you for
This
your
has been,
time.
yeah, we're looking for, you are offering hope, and hope is important. So I appreciate your contribution
Thank you.
to the whole, to bringing about hope.
Definitely, you know.
It's in a very troubling world. I think we are all agreed that it's a troubled world, whether it's consistent with the pattern, but we need hope in order to survive and carry on and try to reverse.
And nurture, as you said, spirituality, what is the definition? The definition is very simple. Life is sacred. You know, we are all sent here for something sacred. So if we acknowledge that, then every life is sacred. And that is mother's, grandmother's message as well to the world. And that, yes, hope, we need to stay with hope. Otherwise, we would just be killing each other.
Which we are doing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Dr. Aneeqa, for sharing your perspective. It was very enlightening, you know, with your views and new angles. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. That, remember, the second point I was saying is the use of money, not to lend money, but to give it freely. in a good cause. So that is also an important thing, that we need capital, but the capital is there, but we have to attract it in a selfless way, not in a
As
selfish
it's
way.
said that there has never been abundance in this world. History has shown we have so much capital, we have so much abundance around us, but it's the scarcity in our head which stops us.
Beautifully
Yeah.
said. Beautifully
Yeah,
said.
very. So viewers, we come to the end of this session of the series. I hope you liked it. If so, please like and share this video as much as possible. Please also subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you keep updated with the future uploads. I will encourage and appreciate your questions and comments on this video. Please write them in the comments box. You may also send your comments and questions by email. The email address is askkelly@alimakhtar.com. All this information is also mentioned in the description of this video. Till next time, have a wonderful and thoughtful time. Thank you.